When evidence from a fire scene is brought back to the lab, the work begins for these fire research analysts. Their job is to examine the type of materials or substances found in the fire debris to help determine the cause of the incident.
Usually we will collect the fire debris in this type of tin. This is the evidence tin. All the label, all the evidence label documentation is actually based on the tin. So based on this evidence, we roughly know the case, which case actually belongs to. So what we do once we receive this tin, basically we need to change the lid. Okay, so we change the lid with an absorption tube. Basically this test is require us to actually extract the vapor inside the fire debris into this absorption tube. So once this lid has been fit on to the tin, we will heat up the tin. Basically, after fitting in the lid, we actually need to put in the oven to heat up. So what we do is basically take out one of the screw here, fit to a gas tubing before putting in the oven, and close the oven and setting up the oven.
And how long does this process take?
We usually take about 90 minutes. After the process, we open the oven and take out the tin. And take out the absorption tube. Basically, you put the absorption tube into this machine. This machine is known as gas chromatography mass spectrometer, and start the machine.
So what does it do?
Actually, this machine will generate a graph like this one you want to see here. Okay, this graph, then we analyze the graph.
So what does the graph show?
Basically, after the running of the instrument, a graph like that, which is known as chromatogram, will be shown out in this monitor screen. From the graph, from the chromatogram, actually you see that this is the profile of a heavy petroleum distillate. Example of heavy petroleum distillate could be a diesel or kerosene. So basically, with this information, we'll feed back to the fire investigation team for their investigation of this case. Another test we do is basically to determine the fresh point of the unknown mixture. Fresh point of the mixture is actually the lowest temperature at which the mixture gives off inedible liquid mixture in the air. The lower the fresh point, the more flammable the mixture is. For example, let's say petrol. Petrol have the fresh point of less than 0 degree compared to diesel. Say diesel is about more than 60 degrees. So petrol is more flammable than diesel. Let me show you how we do the fresh point testing of the mixture.
To find out how the fire started and why victims failed to escape in time, SCDF's fire analysis team recreate a virtual replication of the actual scene using a fire modeling software.
Some of the things that it can help us to validate will be the burn patterns. Like for example, in the fire scene, you have seen various types of burn patterns like a V shape and stuff like that, which will be recreated in the computer simulation. So if the location of the fire is different, and it will have some implications on the burn patterns, and the computer software can actually predict them accurately. So what it does is it recreate a living room. So as you can see, right, the smoke actually built up within the living room very quickly.
So this will indicate how the fire spread?
Yeah, it does help. And it's advice to the people will be to lay low so that the smoke layer doesn't intoxicate the person living inside. Actually, it can show you the burn patterns that is inside, found in the room. See, there will be a line of indication here, the V pattern which can be found from the simulation. This can be correlated to the observation that's found on the ground. So that's how we try to validate that whether a point is the point of origin. It used to prove the hypothesis put up by the fire investigators. This is actually a storeroom.
Okay.
A storage facility Fire actually started off under one of the pallets inside the racks of many racks found inside the industrial premise. The fire started at this point, and you can see the fire actually builds up the heat in the storeroom. The heat will actually propagate from one end to the other end of the storage facility.
So the software is used to recreate any fire scene?
Any fire scene.
Fire modeling is one of the tools used to test the hypothesis that fire investigators have developed. Once the experiments are done, the results are handed over to the investigators to help solve the case. In the next clip, we'll look at the dangers of using the wrong lamp accessories in your home.